Hi Ajay, great to catch up with you on the weekend and go over some points that you covered during the weekend down at the Bedfordshire. Personally, I think you still got to work a little bit more simplistically. You took a lot of info in at the weekend, which was great, but then what we need to do is work on the appropriate piece. And the setup based on the advice that Andy gave you at Bedford is fantastic. You've much more flex in the ankles, looking much more ready to move, tailbone's a little bit higher. I would have said personally that I'd like to see your head just tilted down a little bit more here, so that we've got this situation where the top of your neck and the base of your back are on a little bit of a different angle at the moment. We're just a little bit too up with the head here, so just tilt that chin down a little bit more. That's going to make it easier for you to make a centered turn. Having said that, we make a pretty good backswing, and then from there what we're going to do is we're going to start to flex forward, but then extend a little bit too early. You can see that left shoulder climbing. We don't quite get fully into forward flexion, and I'm just going to take you down a frame or two here. We can see that as we're coming into impact now at P6, shaft parallel with the ground, club is too much behind your hands, and shoulders too shut off. Remember what we're discussing at P6, delivery position. That is the only time in the swing where the body should return to where it was at address, so you're back into your original spine angle. So a little bit shut off, and from there it's very hard not to attack the ball a little bit too much from the inside and extend too early. You can see that sort of upward move as you're coming in, which is fine, but it needs to be done at the appropriate rate. So just take you back down there now. So what we did was we introduced the idea of the grid, which was basically, as I suggested, what Andy was doing, or sorry, what Mike was doing during his ball flight demonstration on Saturday morning. So what we've done here is we've laid the grid out on the mat. We've put 3 balls down for you, one on the far side of the circle, one on the back side of the circle, and one in the centre of the circle. What you're going to do is you're going to spend time hitting shots from a ball which is at the back, at the front of the circle. What that is going to allow you to do is, just by hitting balls, it's going to condition you, in order to make solid contact with a ball so far forward, you have to shift the plane to the left. The only way you can do that is by working that upper body a little bit differently. You can see there that you get back into forward flexion earlier. Totally different position here with the shoulders, much squarer. Club now much more in line with the hands, and from there everything can move forward and up at the correct rate, so there's much less of a jumping up look to that swing. Although that jumping up look is a good move, it shouldn't be as evident as what we see at the start of your session. So here we're not getting back into forward flexion, we're starting to, but then we're coming up too soon, shaft too much behind your hands at P6. Here we're getting back into forward flexion much more, club much more in line with your hands at P6. It should actually, when you're working on this long term, creep a little bit more into this position based on where the ball is within your stance, but for now we're quite happy to just feel that position that you've been looking for so long. You can see now as you come through, I'm just going to put these lines on. You stay nicely on the wall throughout the hitting of the golf ball. There's a little bit of lift up there, but certainly not as much falling off the wall as you were getting at Bedford. So that is the key position for you. Improve your position at P6, club more in line with the hands. Ultimately what we do is, after spending some time here with the ball forward in the circle, hitting some straight pulls, alternate between ball forward in the grid, ball in the usual position, ball forward in the grid, ball in the usual position. You're going to use the grid as a balancing act, as a balancing mechanism, just a tool to use when you practice, and hopefully get that move that you need bedded in before you then move on to improving the extension and a forward slide in your downswing. Good luck with it, and I look forward to working with you again in the coming weeks. Well done.